Let us try and prove that root 5 is an irrational number. For this, I'll prove by contradiction. That is, I will assume that root 5 is indeed a rational number and it can be expressed as a by b, which are co-prime numbers. Co-prime numbers are those which have nothing in common, no factor in common, and they cannot be cancelled with each other. With this assumption, if I go forward, I get b root 5 is equal to a, or by squaring both sides, I get 5b square is equal to a square, which essentially implies that a square is divisible by 5, or I can say that a is divisible by 5, which means I can write a as 5 times a particular constant. Once I know that a is 5 times a particular constant, I can replace that in the original equation. And once I replace this value in the original equation, I'll get 5b square is equal to 5c whole square, which is effectively 25c square. That will lead to b square is equal to 5c square. By the same logic used earlier, I can say that b is divisible by 5. I had proved here that a is divisible by 5. I had proved here that b is divisible by 5. And that implies that a and b have a factor of 5 in common. But if you remember, in my assumption I had stated that a and b have nothing in common, and hence this gives me a contradiction for the basic fact. That means my basic assumption that root 5 is a rational number is invalidated, and hence I can say, or hence I have proved that root 5 is an irrational number. Continuing with the same idea, we will now try and prove 3 plus 2 root 5 is an irrational number. Following with the same concept, now let us assume that 3 plus 2 root 5 can be written as a by b, where a and b are co-prime integers. So that co-prime positive integers, which makes a by b as a rational number. This is an assumption. If this goes wrong, then I will be able to say that 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. Let us proceed with this. I get, first of all, let me take it to the other side. So I get 2 root 5 is a by b minus 3, or a minus 3b by b, which means I get root 5 as a minus 3b by 2b. Now let's look at this value. I know a and b are positive integers which are co-prime to each other. That means this entire thing is rational. I had just proved that root 5 is irrational. An irrational number can never be equal to a rational number. That means this is a contradiction, which means that this is false. If this is false, my initial assumption that 3 plus 2 root 5 was a rational number is also false, and hence I can have proved that 3 plus 2 root 5 is indeed an irrational number.